The truth will set you free. I heard the truth will set you free, but at first it might tick you off. Might get you pretty upset that you're responsible for everything that's happening in your life, that your thoughts create your reality, that nobody's attacking you except your own thoughts. Oh my goodness. And I'm also responsible for the solution, for bringing God into this place at this time, to bring light into this place. I'm responsible for that. Why? Because I am the child of God. And I have to represent my Creator. I have to represent that which I am. Or what? I'm living a lie. I'm living an illusion. I'm living in a mistaken idea of myself. And now what happens? I generate conflict between what I think I am and what I think you are. Oh my goodness. No wonder we need some principles to live by. I need something to follow. You know, unity is a movement. It's not a religion. A lot of people want to make it into a religion, but it's not that. It's a movement. It's a spiritual movement. It's not guided by rules and regulations and dogmas and creeds and doctrine. It's guided by principle, spiritual principle. So we're in the series of our 5 principles, and this is the last one, principle number 5. So Bob's back there. Put the slides up, Bob. That'd be great. We're going to quickly review the 5 principles, because I think you need to be following principles. Let your mind be quiet. That's one of my principles. I like that one. Keep going. Oh, that's a pretty good one too. But I think there are principles before that one. Charlie, sorry about this. Lily will be back next week to help you with the cameras. Here it is. Everybody say this with me. God is absolute good, everywhere present. There is one power and one presence active in the universe and in my life. That pretty much sums it up. If God is all good, everywhere present, then anything other than that is going to be my own mistake, my own creation. I'm creating from a mistaken idea. It's not that I'm a bad person. It's just I'm mistaken. We call it error thinking. There's error thinking and truth thinking, right? So number 2 is going to be human beings. Oh, you were so good in the last one. Let's say this together. Human beings have a spark of divinity within them, the Christ Spirit. Our very essence is of God, and therefore we are also inherently good. Love it. Takes away all the guilt, all the blame, all the shame. Wow. I'm inherently good. That's what I am. Now, how do I get in touch with that? It's going to be dependent on 3 and 4. Principle number 3. Human beings create their experiences by the activity of their thinking. Everything in the manifest realm has its beginning in thought. I love that. That's empowering. And number 4, prayer is creative thinking that heightens the connection to God-mind, and therefore brings forth wisdom, healing, prosperity, and everything good. I love that, because now we can look at prayer as a way of thinking. It's a creative way of thinking. Isn't that nice? It's not begging some being in the sky to bless you. It's being the child of the intelligent, beautiful energy called God, and being the agent that brings forth the healing, the wisdom, the prosperity, and everything good. The creativity of your mind is actually bringing that forth. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing. I am actually one with God. And prayer shortens the distance. It'll shorten the distance until you are actually experiencing that you are one with God and that you are God. In unity, we don't pray to God. We pray as God. We pray from God, from a place of being His or her perfect child. We're not praying hoping something will happen in the future. We're praying from the assurance, from the certainty that God is all good all the time. And that in fact, that is what you are also. And if I stand in that knowing, in that certainty, and if I treat you as the holy child of God that you are, things change. The whole environment will support my creative thinking. That's why prayer works. Where two or more are gathered in the name of truth, truth is manifest. And that's back to principle number 3, right? So here we go. I'm already into it. Principle number 5. Knowledge and understanding of the laws of life, also called truth, are not enough. A person must also live the truth that he or she knows. I love that. Here we go. This is where it begins. This is where the fun begins, guys. It's not enough to talk about it. I can talk about spiritual principles all day long, but until I begin to put it into practice, I'm not going to be free. I'm still going to be in judgment of what I think all you guys are doing out there. I'm going to be in judgment of what I think is going on in the world. And I won't see God in everything because I'm judging some things as separate from God and not worthy of my love. But here's the way to correct that. Go to the next one. No, I'll take it from here. If you can't see God in all, you can't see God at all. That's a beautiful spiritual truth. How do I live that? How do I do that? I'm going to have to employ the creative thinking of prayer and asking for help from my higher mind and from the Spirit of truth to show me how to do this each and every day, to look for God in everything. If I look for it, I'll see it. If I'm looking for separation, if I'm looking for your faults, if I'm looking for what's going wrong, that's what I'm going to find. If I'm looking for what's going right, that's what I'm going to find. If I'm looking for God, that's what I'm going to find. I love this guy, Yogi Bhajan. He was the one who was instrumental in bringing the Sikh religion and Kundalini Yoga to the West. You guys probably meditated with the guy the other night. Well, last night, what? Guru Nam Singh. I know that guy. I used to meditate with him. And I love these guys. And when I heard this for the first time was 15 years ago, something like that. And I thought, that's exactly how I feel. Something about this resonates with me. This has to be a spiritual truth. This has to be an ultimate spiritual truth. And although maybe don't feel like I'm able to live this every moment right now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try this. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to make it an experiment in my life. And it works. It worked. And when I'm not doing it, I know I'm not doing it. And I know I can always come back to it because it's a choice. What I love about unity not being a religion and being based on principles is that every one of us is called. All the people who attend unity churches, all their spiritual leaders, their ministers, all the leaders back in worldwide headquarters, the organization itself, it has to be guided by these principles. It's amazing. Prayer has to be the foundation for everything we do. Last week, our speaker, Will Tuttle, characterized unity as a movement of radical inclusion. I love that. That's a wonderful idea. Radical inclusion. So we're including all of the core fundamental spiritual truths, but you can really boil them down to those 5 principles. When you look at the last 500 years of spiritual teaching, many feel that Charles Fillmore, the founder of Unity, was one of the great sages of spiritual thinking of the last 500 years. He was kind of a quiet guy, actually. He meditated. At the end, he was in the silence 10 hours a day. And he never thought about organizing a church or religion, but he knew that this was an inauguration into a new age of the teachings of the experience that Yeshua had. Yeshua of Nazareth, who discovered who he was. In his prayer life, he brought about healing. He brought about wisdom. He brought about everything good. And there are many others who are doing the same thing. So Unity wants to, or I do at least, I want to personally find out how to live in such a vibration, in such a way that brings about all the goodness of everyone in the world. And I know a lot of you are doing that. You've dedicated your life to doing that. And so I'm here only to acknowledge you, to support you, to encourage you, to join together with you, to find out what your special gifts are, and to somehow allow for a harmony of those gifts to be expressed here in this community. That's what I would really love to do, and I know that that's what Unity is based on. So essentially, we're using these principles that have been discovered by the great spiritual thinkers, throughout the age. One of our founding thinkers in New Thought is Henry David Thoreau. And Will Tuttle also said that Thoreau had the largest library of Eastern books in all of New England. He was very instrumental in bringing transcendental thinking to New England, which is where the New Thought movement began. You'll find out a lot more about this if you come to our membership class. We're going to have one next Saturday and one in September. Because New Thought actually isn't new at all. It's based on ancient teachings, but it's brought together in a personal experience. And it's wonderful because it does include Eastern teachings, but it includes very much the Christian thinking as well. It includes all the mystical teachings of all the world. And Thoreau was a pretty smart guy. He said, the world is but a canvas to our imagination. That's principle number 3. The world is a canvas to your imagination. And the reason we don't let our imagination run wild and create amazing beauty is because we are so stuck on the idea that it's all happening out there. No, your mind, your imagination is painting on the canvas of this world. Another thing he said, which was exactly the same thing Eric Butterworth said in Unity, it's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see. It's how I'm looking at it. Butterworth used to say, your job is not to see the world right, not to set the world right, but to see it rightly. Don't try to set the world right. Don't try to change anybody. See it rightly. See the Christ in your brother and sister. When you see it, then it will manifest for you. You are the creator of your own universes. Your thoughts, your action, again, your imagination. We worked a lot with our imagination last week. It was amazing what people came up with. What's really underneath all of those surface thoughts is some beautiful imagination. You can picture amazing things. And so your thoughts, your actions, and your imagination create and set life into motion. Amazing, wonderful stuff. Imagination. What can you imagine? Oh, I imagine police officers meditating. Here's the answer to our problem of the conflict here. Guys who are judging the police officers for the way they do their job. I'd rather join with them in a holy moment of meditation on what is true and what is right. Then they'll do their job exactly the way they need to. What's wrong with that? Some people say, oh, yes, they're meditating, but blah, blah, blah. No, look at this. These guys are joined in spirit. Doesn't it change your mind a little bit about if you're negative about? We used to call them peace officers. We'll get back to that, won't we, someday? Peace officers. God bless every one of us. Don't judge anybody, please. Don't judge anybody. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. One holy instant will change how they look at themselves, the world, and everybody else. They won't be attacking anybody. And you won't be, more importantly, I won't be attacking you because I haven't judged you. I brought you into this space with me. That's the important thing to do. Bring them into your peace. Don't try to fix your problems. I fix my thinking and the problems fix themselves. This is from Louise Hay. She's a really big affirmation thinker. One of our most important healers of our time, Louise Hay, isn't she? Taught you how to heal your body and your life through what? Your attitude, changing your thinking. So don't try to fix your problems, fix your thinking. This is an amazing thing that happened just last year. Nobody in the Western world even heard about it. 5,000 schools gathered together to meditate for world peace. They organized 1 million children. This is a real thing. It really happened in Thailand. 1 million kids all meditating together for world peace. I can't even get one kid to meditate. 1 million. There's a lot more going on in your world than you think. Don't be so boxed in by the world you think you live in. This stuff's happening all around the world. There's a 17-year-old girl that found a way to purify water. There's a 19, well, he's 21 now, Dutch boy who found a way to clean the plastic out of the oceans. And they're putting it into use. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of beautiful things going on. So all you have to do is correct your mind. The rest of your life will fall into place. That's all you have to do. It's your mind. Nobody else can do anything in there except you. That's where all the work happens, within myself. And to witness to the manifestation of God's love when I really surrender to Spirit, it's an amazing thing. And I surrender each and every moment of every day. Surrender all. Because who you are is only limited by who you think you are. That's the Egyptian Book of the Dead. I don't know who wrote, some dead guy wrote that? I don't know.
He doesn't think he's dead.
No. We're really working on good material here. That's true. There actually is no death. But that's how far back this goes. You think it's limited to Unity or Henry David Thoreau or who's that guy Charlie likes? Phineas Quimby. He's a relative of Wes, by the way. Phineas Quimby. He was the founder of New Thought, the father of New Thought. Anyway, who you think you are is limited only. Who you are is limited only by who you think you are. Wow. Who do you think you are today, my friends? Put lesson 5, principle number 5 into practice. Remember who you are. Remember that. Who do you think you are? That's who you are. It's amazing. And it expands right here, right now, because who you think you are automatically starts to grow and expand and become greater than who you thought you were. Who do you think you are? It's a great question. So this isn't really new thought at all. These are universal truths. And they were new to me the moment I heard them. And they're new to me each time I hear it again. And that's why we keep presenting it. That's why we keep reading and we keep sharing and we keep going deeper and deeper into our spiritual path. Because these truths go deeper as we do. It's like having, It's like having a new car. The beautiful, fast, like super car. And I don't know how to drive it. I'm going to ride around at 20 miles an hour at first because I don't want to crash that car. I don't know what it can do. But as I get used to it, oh my God, I might get up to 160 or 200 miles an hour. It's like learning a new spiritual practice. Yoga, for instance, at first, I can't do any of that stuff. I can barely cross my legs. But after a few months, woohoo! I don't do yoga anymore. Anyway, I'm so happy, that we're here looking at these truths because it's really true. You can be only love. You can hear only love. You can see only love. You can speak only love because only love is real. This is a spiritual truth, and it's something that you can become. You can work up to it. You can start out at 10 miles an hour. It's okay. You can start out not knowing where it's going to take you. It's all right. I don't know where it's going to take me. I never do. But I know it's taking me there in grace and ease and love and joy and miracles every day. The people you meet, the things that happen, miracles are happening and available to us each and every moment. Forget the past. Let it go. Receive the lesson that it taught you and move on. Yes, it taught me a valuable lesson. Let's go. Woohoo! Let's move on. I'm ready to be only love. Are you? All right. Then you're in the right place at the right time with all the right people. I love you guys. Thank you so very much.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass. And visit us online at www.unityoncapecod.org.